Hello, hello. I have to say, it is so fun to be back. It's so fun to jump on here and see everybody already in the chat, getting to say hi to each other. It's so great. Also, I have these very bright lights shining. So, in order to see the chat, I practically have to wear sunglasses. So, I might even turn those off. Let me just feel into that. But let's see. Oh, okay. I can see it as long as I kind of go in here. Hello, hello. Let's say hi to let's see. Courtney, Stacy, Jesse. Hi. Hi, Fleur. Hello, hello. Austin, I saw you join the community today. Hello. Kennedy, Rodka. Oh my goodness. Stacy Laura. Oh, Tabitha. Hi. Clara Teresia. Oh my goodness. Hello. Steven, I'm glad you made it. Mike, oh my goodness. Okay, I'm so happy to see all of you. And of course, the joke is that like I can barely see you. Rosemary, hello. Oh, so beautiful. Okay, so funny, so funny. Well, I'll let you all say hello to each other in the chat because I want to actually introduce myself for those who are watching the replay and maybe for those who stumbled upon this and this is your first one. Hi, my name is Allison Holley, and I used to offer these channeling for the collectives every single week. And then, ooh, I'm almost going to get emotional. And then I went through a portal and it begged me to ground, to take care of myself, to really pull my energy in. I don't know if I can fully describe what I was being called to do, but it was self care. It was self care. It was deep realignment. For those of you who have been following along with me for a while, I had a really powerful ayahuasca ceremony, which is really, um, it was before summer camp, which, by the way, we're planning next year's summer camp already. So, really exciting things coming for that. But summer camp happened after that. And then I just went into Allison mode. I just needed to take care of myself. And it's been very, very powerful. I feel absolutely renewed. This is where I could get emotional. I feel like a process that started probably 2.5 years ago is coming to a close for me. Whew. And just this morning, I started to feel like the full me again. so, so I'm happy to be back, and I'm so happy to be here with all of you. So grateful for all of you being part of this crazy life journey together. Like, isn't this wild? Isn't this wild? How is the eclipse feeling for everyone? I want to read in the comments. And we have a special thing happening today where when I was doing this weekly, I would, choose, or I would have one of my lovely assistants choose one of your questions, and I would channel about just that question. What I'm going to be doing today, and I'm going to continue this. So I'm going to be doing this once a month, the first Sunday of every month. I will be offering this channeling and coaching session for everybody. So, I'll just be answering as many of these questions as I can throughout the whole hour. I'll be going into channeling. Also, many of you know that I channel with my eyes open as well. So it's just me kind of going into different zones, different, uh, let's see, how can I call it? fading in and out of different dimensional spaces. So even when my eyes are open, I'm offering deep channeled guidance. And I want you all to know that so that you're not like, why didn't she close my eyes for her question? Why didn't she close her eyes for my question? That's how I meant to say it. So, but I will be focusing on, as much assistance and guidance during this hour as I can. I do want to make a couple announcements, and let's see if I can read through this a little bit. I'm going to offer announcements first. So the first announcement is that I am going to be offering a book club in my private community, the True Creator community. So the True Creator community, it's free to join, totally free to be in there. It's a space where you can meet other people who are as amazing as you, who are on a similar path as you. Sometimes I hear a lot, like, I feel lonely. I'm kind of the only one in my area that talks like this, that feels this way, that's receiving this, these downloads. So I'm providing, I know it's online, but we do get together in person for True Creator Summer Camp. However, the online area is so amazing. You will meet incredible friends. And I'm going to be offering a free book club once a month. So let's see. I don't think I can pull it out right now. But my book, Ecstatic Playground. Yes, I can. Okay. Noisy. I'm so prepared. Oh, this is the era of the True Creator. Okay. Well, this is not the book that we're going to be going into. This is my first book. We will be going into this one for book club after Ecstatic Playground. Okay. Let's see. Here's Ecstatic Playground. Now, we will be diving into this chapter by chapter in the True Creator community. Let's see. There we go. This book is a channeled book all about how to learn to be deep creators with life, how to be masterful creators with life, how to play with our creation, which is, we can really only play consciously if we have really integrated the duality and we are witnessing life as neutral. And so, that's when it becomes a playground. That's when we're really diving into the good stuff. So on a conscious level, right? Because we're playing all the time. We just might not be conscious of it. We're playing just by existing here. So Ecstatic Playground is, my most recent book. And if you would like to join in the community and join the book club, definitely do it. Also, you can purchase this book. It's on Amazon. It's also on my website. And if you are not able to purchase it for whatever reason, the full audiobook is right here on my YouTube channel. So you can listen to it. The whole thing can be free for you. All right. So I want to make that really available to everyone. And of course, if you want to get 1,600 copies, you're welcome to do that as well. You can purchase the physical copy. Okay, I feel like I'm missing a lot of this. Let me get my face right up in this and read some of these comments. I see Jesse as the number one. Let me turn this so that you all can hear me. New to the community. This is my first time messaging in the chat. So happy to have you here, Austin. Love you all. Hi, Allison. Hi, Jesse. Okay, we are excited to see you again, love. Thank you to my moderators, by the way. And say hi to my moderators in the chat. They're amazing. Hi, Allison. Tabitha here. Been way too long. Just landed back in Boise. Ooh, I would love to hear how you're doing. I made it. Good to see you. I'm so glad you made it, Stephen. The usual suspects. All right. Let's see. Is there anything? Okay, let's see. Here's a question. Is anything in an area where they can actually see the eclipse tonight? Oh, is anyone in the area? So the eclipse is only visible and it's actually happening right now. So if you are in, I believe that you would have to be I don't know, Floor, actually, if you're here, because I know you're in the UK. Are you able to see it? I think you actually have to be south of the equator. That word is the hardest word for me to say. I don't know why. I can never say equator. It's so hard. I always want to say Ecuador, and I cannot get my mouth to say it. Um, so if you're able to see the eclipse, let me know. Say so in the chat. Um, oh, thank you. Thank you, Radka. Oh, yeah. A couple of questions that I would at least like to try asking. Wonderful. Okay, so let's go ahead. Summer camp squashed you. Let's go ahead. If you have a question, something that you would like me to channel and coach on, go ahead and type Q and start typing it in the chat. We'll just go from here. I am reading the comments right now, but I'll dive in right away. Okay. So just type Q at the beginning of it, otherwise it might get lost. And if it does get lost and you see that I've answered the question before you and then the question after you, type it in again, okay? Because I apologize. I'm gonna do my best here. Uh, oh, Jesse, thank you. Those of you who came to summer camp this year and last year, Jesse wasn't able to come to summer camp, but made us all Rice Krispie treats. So you remember that from last year. This year, Jesse also sent out Rice Krispie treats, but I ate them all because they didn't arrive in time. So I want to kind of like give a shout out. It was such a sweet gift. How will you know the questions we can't talk? You can talk, girl. I just won't hear you. Yeah, type Q at the beginning. Letting go of a lot of old, unhelpful programs. Absolutely. This eclipse, I am so sensitive to eclipse. Purging traumas from past and current life. Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm back to a wrench. My crown is gone. Okay, I'm skipping through here. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and skip ahead. Singing. Oh, hi, Nikki. All right, let's see. My question. All right, Austin. I'm gonna go ahead and start with Austin's question here. What type of projects am I supposed to be doing? A question inspired by past spiritual message. Is it possible for my higher self to introduce themselves in a channel? What type of projects am I supposed to be doing? So let me tune in, because tuning in will help me to get more centered. Okay, so actually it's interesting because the guidance is coming through for you, Austin. It relates to both of these questions, even though they may not seem related to you. Your higher self is you. You are your higher self. So this isn't a separate being who is, let me get the clearest words. Your higher self is not a separate being from you. It is, if you could think of when we are alive in this human form, we are actually always channeling the fullness of ourselves into a very specific template. The specific template involves the way that you look, your desires, the things that you desire to learn, the life processes that you are going to be unfolding throughout your lifetime. It even includes very specific things like when you are born, when you die, when you meet specific people, all of that. So this is your human embodiment template. I talk about this a lot in Ecstatic Playground, that there are specific templates, sorry for the neighbor's dog, and broad template or open templates. Okay, so some people have more what I call open templates, and that means that a lot of those people, they're kind of just moving through life feeling like they don't have these really strong desires necessarily. And many of you can't even conceptualize having an open template because You have such strong specific desires, such a strong feeling that there's something specific for you to do here. Okay. Many people that I talk to feel that way. There are a lot of people, though, on this planet who have open templates, who are really here for the broad experience of being human. And that may be some of you as well. You might be like, oh, okay, this is, you feel things, you experience things, but you don't necessarily say, I feel like I've got a purpose and I've got to figure it out what it is. All right. So your higher self is sort of the broader aspect of you in your highest vibration according to this divine human template. Your oversoul is what sends out these signals of light. Your oversoul is sort of like, okay, if you've got 17 different lifetimes that you're living in all these different areas, different times, your oversoul is like the umbrella that sends those signals out. So you, in your human form, you're a signal. You may be a very specific, well, you're always going to be a specific signal, but you're going to be maybe living through a very specific template. So if you can imagine, it's sort of like light streaming through a prism. That prism is your template. So it sounds to me that you have a pretty specific feeling template, and you would like guidance on specific actions to take according to that template. Now, the actions are the very end of that stream, right? So we've got our higher self, which is the fullness of who we are and who we're capable of being in this lifetime, and our oversoul streaming light into our divine template. And a lot of times as humans, we interpret a very specific template to mean specific actions, but that's the end of that stream of light. Really, what we want to do is back up and make sure that we are living in the vibrational truth of who we are, which, when I say it that way, we can't not, but we can be conscious of it. So the specific actions come from a consciousness within deep presence, which is going to lead us to those specific actions. Because the actions, a lot of times, even if we have a very specific template, there's a billion. This is where we get into that quantum reality, where that's where our higher self exists. There are infinite ways of getting from point A to point B, which in quantum reality, there is no A and B. It's all right here. But I'm doing my best to translate multiple layers of reality into this. Okay, so let's summarize this. To know your specific actions, what projects to be doing, be in the present moment, go into a state of presence with yourself, and allow yourself to start to feel that channel of joy and love that comes from deep presence. That channel of love and joy is going to guide you very naturally into things that you want to do. Another way of saying this is trust your desires. Trust that the desires that are coming through you are actually they're actually meant for you. Now, our desires are sometimes like, whoa, and I talk about this in my Limitless course. Sometimes our desires like, I want pizza. And it's like, well, maybe that's not the highest level desire. The highest level desire is going to come from deep presence. But you still want to follow that desire, because sometimes we keep ourselves from feeling a desire and acting on it because we judge those desires. So sometimes you've just got to break through and say, all right, I want pizza. That's my first step. I'm going to go have pizza. And then once you're eating pizza, you're like, oh, now that I've allowed myself to start flowing through, when I get a desire, I act on it. Now that I've allowed that sort of to break through, okay, now I'm coming up with all these other desires. Oh my God, now I want to be a millionaire. Now I want to have this beautiful partnership. And all of these true desires start flooding through. And then you take the next step and the next step. Those big desires they're sometimes so intimidating. So we only get, I want pizza, you know? We've got to let the cork sort of pop off and move towards the desires so that we can follow the bigger, more high level desires for ourselves. Okay. I know that was all over the place and it maybe wasn't a direct uh, answer, but that was what was coming through to teach you. All right. Okay. Question. I'm Stephen. What is the root cause of waking up to head and abdominal pressure every day, then chest pressure throughout the day? Beautiful. I'm going to close my eyes. Clear. Oh, love. Medical intuitive stuff sometimes is so hard to translate because the way that we see physical reality is we see linear, but actually from the energetic place, there's the way that we see linear, it's not linear at all. We're just actually jumping to conclusions. So what came through immediately was self-hate. What I want to ask is, how much are you accepting yourself as human? How much are you allowing yourself to love even the difficult parts of the human experience? All right, so that's the energetic. Let's look at closer to the physical, right? Because the physical potentially, if we keep following it, can lead us toward that self love, which is taking care of yourself in a different way, allowing yourself to, um, and because I know some of your story, I'm able to see this, allowing yourself to go get the exams that you need. Um, I am seeing that this is nervous system related. And let me see. Um, I don't know. Let me see. Is this because I'm not medically trained, I'm trying to understand. What I'm seeing is something that is sort of almost like this sounds weird, biting on your nervous system. So it looks like a pathogen of some sort. Um, so what I'm hearing is viral, and um, I'm hearing some really specific things, and I apologize. This may not be the place for it. I'm hearing something like EEDS, and I don't know what that means. EEDS, something I've never heard of. EEDS, and if that means anything to you, um, essentially, it is something that has, and it looks like a mold or something. I'm questioning this. So, Stephen, I would like to, I know you previously asked me this. I would like to go into this separate from this uh, live stream on a more deep level because this is touchy stuff. When we go into some of the medical stuff, this is pretty touchy, and I don't want it to be rushed. Um, what I will say is, it is a process of helping you land on the earth, trust the earth, and love being a human, even in the midst of all of this pain, all of this suffering. It is nervous system related. And for whatever it means, EEDS, I'm not sure if there's something more to that or if that by itself means something, but that is what I'm receiving. Um, to mitigate it, you're already doing what you need to do. Continue to ask for help from everything and everywhere because that is your act of self love. Ask for help, ask for assistance, keep facing it, keep being with it. This is your process of self love. All right. Sending you lots of love on that. Okay. Okay, beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. Stacy, what angels do you see around me? Beautiful question. Oh, chariots is the word that I hear. Chariots of Fire. I wonder even if you like that song or I love that song. Hmm. There's also the reference to Ezekiel, chariots in the sky, which came up in a coaching session the other day. Not with you, with someone else. So it's fresh on my mind, and I'm hearing chariots. Oh, that's why. Because cherubim, the seraphim. Stacy, you're an angel incarnate. So you work with the legions of angels. Oftentimes, the legions of angels come through in one specific energy, which we then call archangels or things like that. But because you are an angel incarnate, you have access to the legions of angels. You can choose to call on specific energies within the angelic frequencies. So if you need specific guidance, I'm getting something. Let me see. Let me see if a specific name comes through. Uh, well, that's interesting. I got Arcturian, and that's not a group of angels. That is a starseed or a collective. It is a planetary collective. Um, interesting. So it looks like you're connecting to Arcturian frequencies right now, which often they deal with very advanced levels of energy work, time, learning about um, high level consciousness. Um, they tend to, from what I've witnessed, there tends to be an emphasis almost on high consciousness technology because they're just very advanced. Um, so, spiritual technology or even human technology. I'm hearing Arcturus. I didn't specifically hear Arcturian. I'm hearing Arcturus. So maybe look into that or sit with that for yourself and see what that means for you. All right. Oh, it moved. Let's see. Why am I feeling so disconnected and lonely this year? And how do I remedy that? It's interesting because Kennedy, because I know you and your story well enough. You're in a portal. Several people are right now. I kind of want to feel into this for the collective because um, so the way that it's coming through to me is sort of like growing pains. If any of you have ever had growing pains, I remember getting growing pains. It was weird. I kind of liked the feeling, but it was so uncomfortable. And it's just this ache, right? Because there's a tremendous amount of growth happening to the point where you can feel it. And there are a lot of people who are in a sort of portal. I know I feel like I'm actually like coming out the other side right now, finally. Oh man, it was really just confusing and uncomfortable. Um, and I'll say that mine was sort of triggered by a moment of disillusionment with spiritual teachings or what I was receiving and channeling. So there was something that activated within you that made you question all of it. And it wasn't even on a fully conscious level for you. And what I'm seeing is you're kind of in a portal where the transformation between who you were and who you're coming to be is just it's sort of rapid. And when it's rapid like that, you almost feel a little numb moving through life. Um, you don't quite connect with the old people. You don't quite connect with the new people, right? So the old friends and the new friends, it's like you're still in transition. That's what is happening with you. Let me see if I can get more information on that. What's really important for you to do through this transition is to continue to do the things that you love, working on yourself, working on the things that you love, developing, because I know you, developing your musical talents, investigating all of the things that you find fascinating, um, following and connecting with the people who you find fascinating. Continue to let yourself gravitate toward the things that almost scare you, because that is going to bring you to yourself. There's going to be feels like early next year, maybe even in the spring, where you start to feel like, okay, and until then it's transition, and that is uncomfortable. So that's what I'm seeing for you, is you're in the wormhole where there's just a lot of transition happening, so nothing's really landing because you're moving very quickly. So and how do I remedy that? Okay, hopefully I answered that. Continue to move towards the things that really, really pull your heart. Because if you weren't uncomfortable, you might not let yourself move towards the things that you're afraid of, right? Even the people that you find very alluring, interesting, that you really want to get to know, even them, because if you were not uncomfortable, you would try and tell yourself not to do any of those things. You would um, tell yourself, like, it's okay if I do this tomorrow, or it's okay if I never get to it. But because you're uncomfortable, it's like, oof, I gotta, sort of like getting your feet in that mud and trudging forward. Like I've got to do the thing that is pulling me. All right. They were yummy. Yes, they were. Stacy. They were delicious last year. Oh, hi, Divine de Allegra, Cordula. Yes. Your Ecstatic Playground is the new Bible. Everyone should read it. Thank you. That's amazing. I actually need to reread it because it helps me so much. Oh, Jesse, I love that we're all calling you out. You owe me a crispy treat. I'm telling you, there were so many Rice Krispie treats, it was a little hard to eat so many of them. I ended up sharing them with a lot of, like, Cashel's family. So, all right. Okay. Claire Teresia, I want to read this. I've actually had several people ask me this because there's a part in my book that talks about this. And I'm realizing that maybe that part in my book didn't have enough clarity. So let's revisit it. And the question is fear of being influenced and mind control fears, how to dissolve them. Eclipse purging energies are intense. Even just reading that, I can feel it. I'm feeling it for myself. Sorry. Let me just comb the tangles out. This is how life works. Nothing is an accident. The fact that I just ripped through my hair just now, that's symbolic. Okay. So we all are influenced by all of it. It is part of the agreement of coming to this planet, incarnating in this dense layer of reality, that we're going to be sort of sometimes caught up in webs, sometimes not fully sovereign, sometimes. Um, so the reason that this is symbolic, when I just sort of ripped through the tangles in my hair, the shaman that I work with for ayahuasca, she actually describes the way that ayahuasca works as sort of like untangling the threads. Just we get really tangled, and then there's this untangling. Let me just pull through those threads, right? And there's a lot more around that. In my last ceremony, I dealt with this on such a I can't even describe it. It was multidimensional, multi-layered time. It was, I'll probably have to paint a picture of it because it's hard to describe. For a full hour or 2, I don't know, time disappears. I was in the fetal position, simply chanting over and over again, "I claim my light. I claim my divine right to be here. I claim my light. I claim my light." Because I had been influenced by so many just layers. I saw multidimensionally, which is I don't have words to describe it. So it was me sort of like inside all of these dimensions. And as I was claiming my light, it just shook all of those dimensions clean. It combed through all of them, but I had to claim it. And so that's what I would say with you. Claim your light, all of you. Claim your right to be here. Claim your light over and over and over again, because that's how you clear it. You are a sovereign being. The more conscious that we become, the more that we are aware, and most of this falls away simply by standing in our light, our divine presence, our the truth of our worthiness and our love. And as humans, those words are very, very powerful. If you are ever feeling sad, depressed, unworthy, unlovable, any of that, a lot of that could be programs running of "I claim my light," or not claiming your full right to be here. If you are avoiding making choices, this is a sign that you are not in full sovereignty. Let that really land. If you are avoiding choosing, you are under the influence of other programs. Now, they're not necessarily all these nefarious programs coming in, and I'm not trying to scare anybody. This is not like a woo sort of thing. This is part of what it is to be human. And many of us, so I personally was told at the beginning of my channeling, which is at the beginning of my awakening, I started channeling, and I started teaching people to channel a few years after that. And I was told, because I would channel for other people, and a lot of people would ask me, "How do you know that you're not being influenced?" I was told that I was created with a specific sort of protection around me that would always exist because of the purpose that I have here. And even with that, there has been program influences, okay, that have come in and moved me in certain ways. All of this to say there's truly nothing ever wrong, ever. You are not, this is nothing to be afraid of. And of course, it causes fear. We're like, oh, when we're unconscious and we become conscious and we see the patterns that we've been living in, a lot of times an awakening makes us feel just awful because we turn the lights on and we see there's bugs everywhere. And we're like, oh, that is not what I've been wanting to do. Right. So the awareness of it, the consciousness of it, sometimes it freaks us out. We don't need to live in the fear around it. That's not what this is about. What this is about is making the choice now, right in this moment now. Claim your light. Claim your divine right to be here. Claim your divine right to be sovereign, to be full of love, to radiate light, to exist without fear, to be healthy, to be happy. And as you can hear, like, to be healthy, to be happy, to be full of light. Our whole lives are a progress, a process of these divine codes. We're not going to be living them all the time. Make the choice now as much as you can. I recorded a video on timelines and that they don't exist, and I wasn't happy with the way that the video was recorded. So I'm going to be re-recording it and releasing it this week. Timelines don't exist. We don't lock into a train track and that's it. It's not a timeline. Every single fraction of a moment is a choice point, and you get to make that choice all the time. So if you are feeling afraid, let me actually channel here. Let me actually go deeper into this because there's something calling on me about that fear. A fear is sort of that nudge that's calling you to awaken to pulling out of the fear, to emerging as your full, true divine self. So instead of focusing on the fear of, do I have programs? Am I being, just say no, I don't. Nothing is allowed to control me anymore. And you may still have unconscious programs, even after saying that. But you will, in that instant of claiming your light, of claiming your right to say no, you will, in that instant, move toward your full expression, your highest self. Light will start streaming in immediately. There's no delay. And that's how we shift. And it's moment by moment. We do, this is something that I said in the video, believing in this idea of timelines, while it's helpful shorthand for understanding how we move through this reality, believing in timelines can be damaging to us because we can think, well, this is the only choice point that I have. And if I don't do it right this time, I'm effed forever, right? No, every moment is yours. You're the creator. In fact, there is no time. Right now, you're all that is. Right in this moment, right now, you are all that is. Choosing to have a level of consciousness around certain things. The truth is, and I do say this in my book, the truth is that even if you are living under the influence of deep programming, none of that is real. None of that is real. It is all a game that you're playing with yourself, and you can choose in every moment to play a different game. I promise you that. So the fear is coming up to help you align. It's that little nudge that's saying, I know that I'm a creator and it's time for me to choose. It's time for me to choose. All right. Okay. That was a deep one. Thank you for that question. All right. I've been having so many completely weird skin issues in the last few weeks. It feels like boundaries. Yes, it is boundary stuff. It feels like boundary stuff rooted in old trauma. Anything I can do to help resolve these things? Let them ride. Let them ride. That's the first thing that's coming through. Sometimes when we have, it's funny, pathogens, that word is coming through. So this eclipse specifically is really clearing a lot of parasitic energy within ourselves, unconscious, where we've been latching on to others in a way to like feel safe, and not believing in our own sovereignty, our own greatness, and also clearing that within ourselves. So you're clearing some of that right now, which of course it is rooted in old trauma, because trauma causes us to believe that we're not worthy at different degrees. So the skin clearing stuff, pay less attention to the symptoms is what was coming through. It's the symptoms are helpful. Like, thank the skin stuff. Actually, thank you. Thank you, weird skin symptoms, for coming up. Thank you. I see that you're clearing. I see that you're helping me move through this and go deeper into, you know what the trauma is, even if you can pinpoint the exact, that there's sort of an overall feeling of fear, limitation, sort of holding you in. And so thank you, skin stuff, for clearing. Thank you for showing me that I desire to have boundaries, that I desire to have self-worth, right? We talk about this so the Sovereign Communication course that me and my friend Cashel just held was awesome. And we talk a lot about boundaries in there. We will be making it available for purchase soon. So let me know in the comments if you'd like that. But boundaries are not about keeping people away from you. That's a misunderstanding. Boundaries are about what situation, what sort of petri dish do I want to put myself in right now to be able to love myself to the highest capacity. And then okay, so now this person, how close can they be to me? To if it's if they can come in really close and I still feel a lot of self-love, awesome. If they have to stay way over there and that's how I feel safe in self-love, then that's how that goes, right? And it's different depending on what day it is, what we're experiencing, right? I had to have a boundary with myself with doing live streams for the past 2 months because I needed to just focus on me. I needed to feed myself, love myself, do all the things. So, there's also a really great course. It is by a woman named Hannah something. I know that's not helpful, but if you Google search Hannah Boundaries course, you'll find it. If you are working on boundaries, take that course. It's awesome and it's pretty inexpensive. I want to say it's like 30 or 50 bucks. Yeah, thank the symptoms because right now the deep stuff is being dug out. Thank the symptoms for showing up and be present with yourself. Like, okay, I'm riding through this. It's tumultuous. There's skin symptoms coming up. I love myself. I'm going to let it purge. Um, Let me see. There's some sort of soothing that you can do. It involves taking a bath and something that's blue. I don't know what it is. It's something that's blue. Let me see if that's symbolic. Magnesium baths are always good, not just when you have symptoms, but because we're like light crystals, uh, sitting in a magnesium bath is very cleansing to our energy field, our energy system. So I will always recommend that. But if you know something that is blue, that's what I'm seeing. I hope that that's helpful. Intending that that's helpful. I feel like I'm going through these pretty slow. How are y'all doing? I'm going to scroll down. Okay. Blue methylene? Maybe. Although I don't know that that has any medicinal properties. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and go back to, I think the last one was Fleur's question. Boop, boop. Where is it? Do, do, do. Oh, it's way up here. Okay. I think this is the right one. Becoming fascinated by the healing potential of sound, vibration, light, color, sacred geometry, etc. How best to use these for myself and others. Love that. Love that. Part of, let's see, I want to explain this in a way that's very clear, not confusing, that really breaks through our mental understanding. So, light and sound and color, the healing properties of those exist on a layer of reality. Well, the healing properties definitely transcend into physical reality, but those as tools exist on a layer of our multidimensional reality where everything is now. And where everything is now, there is no healing to occur because it is simply a transition into the truth that all is now and that reality is my now reality. Okay. So we're going to kind of just table that. All right. So that's the goal. That's the goal of working with all of these things. To use light, sound, and color to benefit the physical body. Be in gratitude. Gratitude is the bridge that brings us to present moment awareness, right? I am so grateful for this. Brings us into the vibratory experience of this is present moment. I am so grateful for the full healing and holding of my body. I'm so grateful that I'm healthy. I am so grateful for these rainbow rays that are bathing me right now. I am so grateful for the sound frequency moving through my body. I am so grateful. So that is how we move into present moment awareness. It brings us to the same vibratory experience of presence. Um, One thing that's going to be really fun and fascinating for you is to dive into the scientific properties of it. So sometimes our mind wants to understand, and I get so fascinated with science. I just went to a planetarium yesterday, and just absolutely, I'm going to be living there. I told them, I hope you're prepared for me to be here every single day of the week. Um, Learning about the science from the human perspective is so much fun. And so learn about the science, learn about the actual properties of light, how light waves move, how sound waves move, how they affect the physical form. Learn about the science behind it, because that's going to be a really fun way to funnel mental energy instead of focusing so much on the healing. Because sometimes when we focus on the healing, we only notice that we're not healed because we're in the awareness of not being healed. All right. So focus on the fun of the science. And then your mind is going to be like, oh, this is practical. I don't need to keep looking at myself. Am I healed? Am I healed? I'm just going to dive into, wow, the science behind this is fascinating. It's so cool. So dive into the science of it, dive into the very practical science of it. All right. How fun. I love that for you. Let's see. How to best support our bodies now with so much more light coming in. I love that. Breathe and love your human self. Breathe and love your human self. This has been coming up a lot during today's session. Hold on. Oh, and water. Drink lots of water. I love how nothing's ever an accident. I'm just here. I'm just a puppet. I'm just like, I don't know. Here we go. Just comedically here to deliver those messages without my mind having any idea. Water. Drink water. Bathe in water. Be in natural water. Bless your water. Start to commune with your water and trust that your water is also a teacher. Water is actually, so I this will be a book that I write. I don't know if it's going to be the next one or the one following the Garden of Eden one. Water is the most ubiquitous teacher on the planet. So water is a huge unnoticed teacher on this planet. And we are going to start to see water as a teacher more and more and more and more. And I know that we've already gotten into that. There are a lot of people who are teaching about water right now, who are communing with water. Um, it's going to be more so. It's going to be even more so. Okay. Breathing. Breathing, because when we breathe in, we receive, and when we breathe out, we release. And this can be done to create a weaving with the planet that allows us to be very rooted, grounded, sovereign, safe, to feel safe. It physiologically changes things within us, and it's accessible to all of us. So breath. What's coming up for you specifically, Cordula, is visiting sacred sites. That just popped in, visiting sacred sites. Tell me if this is something that you're already doing, you've already been drawn to doing. Have we already done a reading on this? I don't know, because I'm a bit of a goldfish, but there's something in me that's like, have you already talked about this? So, visiting sacred sites. Charging yourself up on those locations. Plug in like a crystal to the places where your soul is drawn right now. That's coming up for you specifically. All right. Chris B. How do we know when an obstacle is to stop you from doing something or a test to show you have mastered your karma? I love this question. Again, I talk about this in this book, okay? There's no such thing as tests because tests are part of the realm of right and wrong, and you cannot be wrong ever. When we get into the denser layers of reality, there is a perception of right and wrong. That's duality. That's what we're navigating right now. But the higher truth is that there is no such thing as being wrong or doing wrong. In order to believe that we could do wrong, we have to believe that we would be wrong, right? Because unless you are like you're God. So God can't mess up. And if God can mess up, then it means that you're not God. So you are God incarnate here navigating lots of different experiences and circumstances, and absolutely you can do things that feel wrong because they go against divine love, which is beaming through you at all times. So there are going to be things that feel wrong for you. So yeah, don't do them. But let's dive into but you're not wrong. You can't be wrong. You can't ever mess up. There is infinite possibility. Even the things that previously happened that feel like they're set in stone, it's not true. You can jump to another version of reality, and there's no jumping. I need to do the timeline video. I'll make sure to send it out this week. Make sure you're subscribed to my newsletter and also to YouTube because I'll be sending those out. So how do you know that something is stopping you from doing something that's not for you? And how do you know when something is a test, right? So there's no tests, but I get what you're meaning here. Let's go deeper into it. The first step is really believing that you cannot make a mistake. Because if we believe that we can make a mistake, then we believe in an external power that is saving us or punishing us. And that takes our power out of ourselves. The only reason we want power within ourselves is so that we can consciously choose. If we believe that there's a power outside of ourselves, we believe that something else has to choose for us and that we could make a mistake in choosing. And so we stop making choices. We externalize the power of choice. To be a god on this planet, we have to choose. That is our highest calling in this lifetime, is to choose. That is the highest calling, is to choose. Making those choices from knowing that you can't mess up brings in deep power. When we believe that something else needs to make our choice for us, we lose clarity. We lose clarity until we feel like, wow, I really can't make this choice because I don't have clarity around it. When we get into the pattern, the habit of choosing, I am empowered. I am a creator. I can choose anything I choose. I can choose again. I can choose again. I can choose again. I can change things in the past because everything is a choice right now. I can change the future because everything is a choice right now. It is a now choice. So if something comes up and it feels like a barrier in your life, let's really look at that. What you want to do is you want to go to the truer version of yourself. So let's say this. Um, let's say I would really like to be in partnership, divine partnership. I'm calling that in. And I am pursuing a specific person. And something comes up and it just totally is awful. It just, wow, awful, awful. Does that mean that I stop pursuing this specific person? for a moment, because what it means is I'm going to realign with the higher goal. My higher goal is I want to be in divine partnership. And it looks like this, it feels like this, it is like this. Okay. I don't even need to attach to going this direction or that direction. Maybe I sit still and I let myself go into the larger aspect of what I'm really pursuing. It has nothing to do with this moment that's a test or not a test. It has nothing to do with that actual moment. That moment was just to get my attention to say, let me realign to the larger goal here. What's the larger goal? There's a bazillion ways that I can get there. And when I align to the larger goal, my focus becomes that. It doesn't become this situation or that situation. So it doesn't matter if this is coming up to block my path because there's no such thing as blocking my path. When I attune to the larger truth, I will be guided. So I just let it go. I let go of any sort of attachment to this or that. I let go of, is this a test? Is this trying to stop me? It's just getting your attention so that you can realign to the larger goal. And then in realigning to the larger goal, just know that that's what you're being led toward. Just know that that's what's happening. It this circumstance that feels like a test or that feels like it's blocking me from what I want, that's just a moment of getting my attention. That's all that that is. That's not to stop me from anything. Okay. That's not to punish me. That's not to test if I'm worthy. That is a moment of getting my attention. I'm going to realign to this higher goal. When I realign to this higher goal, I am God. That is where I am existing. That is my truth. That's it. Period. And so whether it goes this way or this way, whether I stop at this brick wall and have to walk around it, that's where you're going. So that brings your power back. Okay. I got real passionate about that one. Thank you for that question, by the way. Yes, Courtney. If you feel open to it, will you share a picture of your tattoo in the community if you feel like it? Courtney and I have similar, if not the same tattoos, actually. So it's really cool in very similar placements on our bodies. So love it, love it. Yes, the Sri Yantra. So beautiful. Ah, thank you. I do recognize my higher self as me. However, there is a caveat. I usually talk to myself as what I would call an alternative me. I talk to that me as a habit. Cool. I do too. I do too. I actually go into channeling sessions with myself. I'll ask the question, is human me? And then I'll respond through that channeled guidance. So I do the same thing. Great practice. Okay. Yash. Oh, hi. Hi, Yash. Okay. What are the things I am supposed to learn that I am not learning, which create problems in my life? Okay. So what are you missing is sort of what are the things that you're missing that you're not learning right now? Hmm. This is an interesting one. So what's happening is I'm sort of being brought into a place where I'm seeing through your eyes, where it feels like things are like breaking down and you're feeling confused. You're like, what am I missing that is creating like, how did I miss that? Everybody else seemed to see it. How did I miss it? So let's look at that. A lot of your purpose, excuse me. A lot of your purpose, excuse my water drooling. I wonder what that symbolizes for you. A lot of your purpose is to be grounded, to be grounding. So while there are things that seem to be sort of spinning around you, You are meant to be consistent. You're a consistent force in your own life and in other people's lives. So, that consistent practice for you is actually love. You will see what you need to see. You will be made aware of what you need to be made aware of. If it feels like you're missing things, if it feels like other people are getting things that you're not quite getting, one, know that you are here to be a stabilizing force and consistency. Begin to trust that you will receive everything that you need to receive. Because you're consistent, you need a regular practice for yourself. Now, there is a little bit of numbing. I am seeing that you do have a little bit of numbing in yourself where you don't want to be aware of all of the stuff that, you know, that maybe people around you are sharing with you. Um, okay, so let's go back to your daily practice. It is important for you to have a daily practice of connection, connection with the spirit realms, and connection with love. So every single morning, it's very important because so much of your purpose is to be consistent. It's important for you to have this consistent practice. The consistent practice is every morning I do a meditation where I connect to the divine. I allow myself to receive guidance from the divine because you are sort of trying to not. It feels a little overwhelming and a little scary for you to receive. It feels like it's just going to be chaotic if you start to pay attention on that level, but that's not the case for you. Well, it'll feel a little chaotic because you've been filtering it, but it's not going to actually be chaotic for you. So connect in love. I open myself to the divine inspiration that's meant to come through me today. I do so in love that the only things that come through are meant for the highest good of myself and all beings. So do that every morning, brief meditation. That's going to help connect you to what you feel like you're missing. Because there's two things happening. There's one, you are not meant to sort of have this super chaotic opening to the spirit realms. I wonder why I'm using it that way too, the spirit realms, because that's not usually my language. Um, so that probably has something for you. It's not going to be like chaotic spirits coming in all the time and all of that, but letting yourself open to it with the express purpose of being of service and being a loving being, a loving conduit of spirit. So that helps you make the active choice to say yes to your calling while also knowing you are here for consistency. You are here to sort of be a grounding force in this world for others, for those around you. It's just part of your beingness. I'm like getting chills back here as I say this. So may that serve you and help you. Ah, Radka, I can fully relate. Let your problems fully dissolve and live in joy. I love that. Austin, it's totally okay that you didn't articulate your question. Here's what happens in this channeling space, you don't even need to articulate it. What is going to be helpful for you, it will come through. So move into everything's okay. I'm here. I'm receiving all that I need to, and I will continue to receive it, throughout the day, throughout the weeks. This is going to continue to unfold. It's all good. And I will tell all of you, because I don't know why I didn't say this before, if you would like to work with me one-on-one, I have single question channelings. I have coaching. I'm considering, I used to have one-on-one channeling sessions, single sessions. I took that off my schedule. I'm considering adding a new version of that back on, but currently I am available in those ways. So if you want to go deeper with this, in a single question channeling or in coaching, please feel free. All the information's in my description box. Okay. Okay, Stephen, yes, let's continue offline. Yes. Okay. So, also, Austin, I'm going to jump to other people's questions first. And actually, what I suggest for you, love, is to take my channeling course and learn to channel because you have a lot of questions. I feel like you would really, really enjoy being able to channel those for yourself. And the channeling course comes with access to the channeling community so you can meet other people who channel. Stacy inside that community leads a every other week channeling group where you get together. She'll guide you into a channeling space and you can channel for yourself. So I recommend that. Oh, yeah, Rodka and Stacy get together, the Arcturians. That was really interesting, wasn't that? I've never heard of them. Send me the podcast. Yay. Okay. I feel like I might be going kind of slow here. Benny, is there still human trafficking and exploitation occurring on Earth? Yes. Will we publicly see or hear disclosure of such crimes against humanity of creation? What is happening with all of that abuse? Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Actually, there's a lot going on right now. Okay, so I know I keep referring to this book, but I don't have that specifically in the book. But I want to share with you that in this book, I talk about what's going on right now. Why does it seem like things are so bad? There's human trafficking happening a lot. There are a lot of systems in place, even governmental systems that benefit from different really dark things. So that is true. That does exist. So here's what I will say about it. We are in some ways it is worse, but I don't want to put that measurement on it because of the complexity of our existence right now. So here's what I talk about in the book. Things feel worse right now because we are more sensitive. We cannot, as we go through awakenings and our light quotient grows, we cannot exist in the same circumstances that we did before. For example, I sometimes still drink alcohol, but it does not work for my system. Um, Even specific foods we won't be able to eat anymore. We can't be around certain circumstances as much because we feel it where we were numb to it before. Okay. So this is happening collectively as well. The reason that disclosure is happening and whoa, I feel like there's going to be a big disclosure. There's going to be a series of disclosures that's sort of amping up. It's almost like that um, tightening. I don't know there's a word in physics that talks about how it's all compressing. We're going to notice just a lot more because of the vibration is getting so intense. So over the next year and a half, we're going to have really powerful disclosures and we already have been. Um, the issue is that those disclosures are coming to us from a place of we're already overwhelmed. So most of them we're not even noticing it. And that's part of the plan, right? It's like let's tell them that we already are in contact with several ET, beings that they visit our planet, that the government knows about it. Let's tell them that in the midst of a thousand other things happening. That's on purpose because let's overwhelm them so that it's kind of like, oh, it's not a big deal, or pay attention to all these other things. So the guidance there is don't look for disclosure. Sometimes that's really satisfying. Like, okay, it finally came to the surface. They finally got there. It's like, it's finally out in the open. I remember the beginning of my awakening. And I talk to a lot of people about my awakening because I do several different podcasts and things like that. And I'll describe my awakening was just crazy. It was like being on psychedelics for several months. And people will ask me, "Was that scary for you?" And I say no, because it felt normal, because it felt like, "Oh, finally, all these things that I've been feeling are in the background. I can finally see them. I'm channeling that weird feeling that I had in my chest. I see the energy now," right? So sometimes disclosure is so helpful because it's like, "Oh, okay, I knew that was there all along. I knew it. Finally, we're talking about it. Finally." But the guidance that's really coming through here is don't look for the disclosure. All of these things are happening. And it's important for us to be so full of light that we push all of that out into the open. And it's going to happen within ourselves too. It's, you know, I could go on a tangent there. It's going to happen within ourselves. We're going to be like, oh, I didn't realize I was existing in that. Oh, I don't feel good about that. Right. That's okay. This is where we become loving with our human selves and we say, "Oh, I see. Okay, I take full responsibility now that I see it. And this is just part of being human. I choose, I claim my light, I choose," right? Okay, so in regards to all of those things, disclosure and everything that's happening, one of the things that I'm receiving is that the beings who have opted into this life, who were born into those awful circumstances, or who have opted in, who that is going to happen for them in their lifetime, I want to let you know all of that is very purposeful on the soul's part. No being ever has anything happen on accident. And I am so sorry to say that. And it is truly something that is very uncomfortable for me to know and to witness, but it's the truth. One of my very early channelings, I went into, it was very hard for me to see. Uh, the channeling took me into a remote viewing of atrocities happening. And I saw it, and I saw divine beings standing around outside of human form, standing around, allowing that to happen because it was so awful for the person that these divine beings needed to hold space for it. That soul told me vibrationally, I am such a high level soul. This is what I wanted in this lifetime. This is what I wanted to learn through. It truly makes no sense to our human minds. And if you don't like that, you don't have to believe me. That's just, it's okay. It's okay. You don't have to believe me on that. Find your own truth in this. I highly encourage it. I'm not here to wreck a room or to make you feel that this is the only truth. Okay. Um, I just wanted to share what I have witnessed, that there are no accidents. And a lot of people who are martyrs, who are coming in to close out these cycles of deep suffering, they're unconscious of their calling to do so. This is also something I talk about in this book. If we knew some of the things that we needed to do, we wouldn't do them. So we come in unconscious and live these patterns out. Okay. So that was a whole that was a whole thing. My heartfelt desire is that this is of service to all of us, and that it doesn't cause fear, that it helps us maintain this vibrancy of love, and that we follow our own processes with this. Okay, thank you for the question. A wrench and a crown. Stacy, I don't know how you lost your crown. Oh, that's so funny. Glad you were here. Okay, let's see. Tried to ask a question as a shy person. I am so happy you're here, Austin. Thank you. Yes. So much love. Y'all are so amazing. Steph. It helps all of us. Yes, good point, Steph. It helps everyone when you ask your question. All right. I miss the campers. Oh, Nikki, I got your t-shirt and I'm mailing it out tomorrow. We are one. Okay, I feel like I'm missing some. It keeps skipping around a little bit. Um, it has stopped me for years. Very cool. Crispy, it's so interesting. I don't even remember what your question was, but I'm so happy that that was helpful for you. Dried butterfly pea flower. Yes. As a bath soak, it offers anti-aging benefits, improves skin hydration. I am going to do that. And it is blue. It is blue. I love that. Oh, bye, Kennedy. Love you. Okay. Let's see what time it is. Oh my goodness. I've gone 20 minutes after. Sonia Chiquette speaks to this. Divine Spirit, move me this day in the direction of my highest good and the highest good of those around me. Move my mind, body, speech, thoughts in the direction of my highest good. Amazing. Thank you, Nikki. So beautiful. Sonia Chiquette, such a loving and raw, authentic human. If you haven't heard of her, go check her out. Oh, for another time. Okay, sounds good. Contraction. What? Okay, perfect. Okay. I feel like I got through all the questions. I love you guys. Did I announce the book club? Yes, I did. Okay, great. Well, thank you all for being here. This was so much fun. I did not even realize that I just went over 20 minutes. Um, Definitely go back through, listen to this again, see if it hits differently the next time. Enjoy the eclipse today. The eclipse energies are really powerful. Eclipses are so beautiful in that they clip, right? So, what is being clipped from your life? Allow yourself to use this energy. Allow yourself to call in from your authentic sovereignty, claim all that is you on the highest capacity. I encourage you to join the private community, to reach out if you would like your questions answered, if you would like coaching from me. Um, get Ecstatic Playground. Let's see, how do I do that? And also, you can listen to the full audiobook here on YouTube. And I think that's it. I love all of you. Thank you for being here. It was so fun. All right. Bye, my loves.